All right, out on the court with the players. First of all, congrats, guys. Thank you so much for battling today. Really appreciate it. Really hard-fought match. A lot of ups and downs.
Yeah,
streaky. Which we're gonna definitely dig into. Topher, any burning questions right off the bat?
Honestly, Will, there's one thing I gotta ask. In terms of, in the British language, what is the anger tier in terms of things that you call yourself?
And where does Muppet fall?
We heard Muppet in there. What's the levels?
It's like a 3/4 scale. It's not quite the full Monty, but it's getting close. You're a Muppet, you're a fool.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, so obviously stuff was a little bit edgy out of the gate for both of you, a little bit like hit or miss, a little touch and go.
I felt great beginning. And then
How did you guys feel the first like 2-3 games? And was it nerves? Was it conditions? Like, talk us through that a little bit.
Mine was balls. Like,
yeah?
And the balls got. I mentioned it in the like I was discussing on the camera, is that when the balls got older, my game got a bit less aggressive. I lost my edge, and then when the balls got newer, I got a lot more aggressive again. I could get more head speed, more ball speed, and more spin. So my balls got heavier again. So I could be more aggressive. So that was a big factor for me. That third set, new balls was, again, 5-0 up. 4-1 in my head, but you can tell the balls are a big swing, so a difference for me.
What about the beginning of the first set? Or you felt like you guys were both kind of feeling it out a little bit and a little bit scratchy, both of you guys?
Yeah.
Were nerves a factor or not really?
For me, definitely. I mean, I don't think we had a good rally until maybe like the third, fourth game.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was like 1-2 ball rallies, like serves and missed balls, but
I didn't feel bad. It just didn't feel in the groove just yet. Like I was moving the ball well, but not. The rise weren't getting there. That's what it was. Just weren't getting there. So that's all right.
It looked to me, Joey, like your foot was quite a bit more firm on the accelerator than normal out of the gate. Is that accurate? Like it looked like you were swinging for a lot more offensive shots.
Yeah, I
typically do. Was that because of the pressure from Will, or were you feeling a little antsy?
I mean, probably both. I knew this was going to be a tough match. I've seen Will play on the channel before, and I guess I knew this was going to be a more intense match than I've been used to so far this spring season. So coming out, I wanted to try to be aggressive, have my foot on the pedal a little bit as much as I could, and then kind of taper back after that. But first few games, missing too many balls, and I realized I just need to get some rallies. So that was kind of my adjustment after the first few games, but didn't really happen until, honestly, like the second set, it seemed like.
Okay.
Yeah. And in my end, I was edging Joey around the court more. I mentioned about the side tees when we were playing. I was getting Joey more out into the alleys, whilst Joey's ball in the first set was kind of on those singular lines, so quite straight. So I could dictate more with my angles, and that's the only difference. But the rally length wasn't long enough to be really a factor. But I was getting to the corners first. That's what I was finding.
Yeah.
Will, talk us through the dip you had in the second set. What changed? How is it that Joey was able to get his teeth into the rallies so much more?
Muppetry. It was a little bit of that. But no, the big swing was when I started going for a little run with the 1E. And then I just got a little bit overconfident, to say the least. And then that just meant that I went from a heart rate of being like a nice level and then hit these big winners, and then I came past my kind of optimum heart rate. So then I was out that kind of zone, and then getting it back, and then Joey played better and made less errors. And that time I got off my kind of sweet spot of my heart rate. And then towards the second set, you can see I was moving a lot, and that's when I get myself in that peak heart rate again. So I could be more aggressive with my body and my mind.
So are you saying you got a little overexcited?
Yeah, overexcited, so the heart rate goes past what's comfortable. And then because it's gone past, it goes back down again, past that nice comfortable zone. So you might see me holding here to try and assess my heart rate and see what level it's at. I want it above resting a lot, but not fully above that I'm overwhelmed. I've a lot of problems in college doing that, where I just get way too excited. Heart would go through the ceiling, and then I'd just plummet the whole way. So just old scars, I guess.
That's good awareness, though.
Yeah.
Joey, talk us through the double faults. What was going on there?
I don't know, man.
That's not normal for
you? That's not normal. That's really not.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, just the yips. Good case of just getting in my own head. Trying to put in my first serve, trying to change my first serve into a second serve, just put it in with a spin serve. Didn't even work. I was telling myself at what point do I start underhanding it, but didn't get that far.
So did it feel like a rhythm thing or like a legs thing or what?
I mean, for me, it feels like it's all about the inner game, like the momentum, the confidence. It's not even something physical. Like I don't even think it's my legs or back, shoulder, whatever. I think it's literally just, you know, the mentality of where I'm feeling at that moment in time. When I, you know, have the gas pedal down where I want it to be, my energy's throttled, I don't double fault. And then it's like, as soon as, like Will's saying, if you like miss that peak zone and something's off, you know, it just stays off and it kind of spirals. So those double faults were, you know, terrible for a few games, but definitely something to work on. Try to use Will's trick with the awareness, like try to, you know, assess that earlier, see if I can address it. But yep.
Did you, Joey, I'd be curious, just so like start of the match, it seemed like Will was pretty locked in on his forehand, especially off the return. Like, did you have a favorite pattern of play in this match, or like a point style that felt comfortable for you? And what was your approach to kind of making those points work?
So it seemed like every time Will had me on my back foot and was dictating points, he would win the points. So I was trying to adjust to get the rallies to be longer, get my balls deeper. That was kind of my pattern. I wasn't going for big angles, mainly just trying to pin Will back, because it seemed like as soon as he got the opportunity, he could get me with the angles, and I'd be running all over. So
yeah, it was interesting too, because we observed in commentary in the third set, like going down 5-0, it seemed like...
I mean 4-4, right?
4-4, right. It seemed like a lot of your balls were landing just kind of just behind the service line and going down 5-0, and then getting it back to 5-3. I made an estimate that you were putting balls probably a good 2 feet deeper on average than you had been.
Gotcha.
Was there anything that you consciously did at that point, down 5-0 in the third, or anything that you did in, like, say, shifting your momentum in the second set? Like anything that you did to break patterns, or?
I think during most of the third set, you know, when Will was on that streak, you know, my ball wasn't feeling good. I wasn't feeling like I could get it deep. But then it was 5-0. I'm like, I just want to play longer. I don't even care if I really win this set. So I'm like, okay, let's just see if we can get these longer rallies, get the balls deeper. I just want to play. And so that was kind of the adjustment for me mentally. Was less about kind of getting back and winning the set, but more about just wanting to play these balls. I want to get rallies again. So.
As soon as the ball got above my shoulder, I was getting impatient. And I can be consistent, but that's why. And then that second set, really, you just got your ball above my shoulder. So I couldn't really get into the court, and I couldn't really dictate, which I thought was just tough. That's why I lost that kind of feel up top. Everything up here, I was really struggling. So you did well in that second set to get it out of my strike zone, because if it was in there, I was pushing.
Yeah, so. Gotcha.
A question for you, Will. It's like, I mean, it's no great surprise that this happens in tennis sometimes. Like, you build this big lead and then you give some of it back and you have to close it out still. Like, what was your mental journey like in the third set? Just because I noticed, like, beginning of the third set, you started to give out some positive energy for the first time and played with some momentum, played quickly. Got out to 5-0, looked pretty much invincible. In fact, like, I called it at 5-0. I was like, this is over. Like, he's just gonna ride this out. And then you give up 3 games. Joey really looks settled in, like just looks like the conditions, he's adjusted to them, he's gonna make it. We wondered if he could make it all the way back into it. You know, how did you what was your mentality like at different stages in the set, and what kind of triggered those moments for you?
It was weird. So definitely a situation of greed. Like, when we got to that bigger stage, because I was seeing the ball really big. So like, if you're seeing it so big, then you get overconfident and you start doing too much. And there's a couple of, like, one game I hit like 2 outrageous backhands, and then I lost the game still. And because it just the next 2 I hit one absolute.
We thought it was because you knew it was for the match, but
no idea.
But you had no idea.
Which makes it so much, weirder for us, because we're like, it was just.
It looked like the classic swing for the fences that closed it out.
4-1 in your mind.
It's 4-1. So I was telling on the camera on the far side that I got a little bit ignorant, or arrogant was what I used in my head, where you start to get past what is your threshold of capability. And that's where I started getting above it. I started hitting the ceiling, and then that's when the heart rate went, because then I hit the ceiling and then it came down quick. So definitely when I was trying to get back to that, you can see I'm trying to move. So on the baseline, I'm moving really frantically because I'm trying to keep my body moving, because as soon as you get still, especially in the third set, your body gets just more susceptible to fatigue. If you can keep your heart up and your adrenaline up, it then keeps your mind a bit more up there and your body up there. So you can see it when I'm moving around, it's trying to keep my heart up, but also my mind and my adrenaline up too, so I can kind of ride that, which I think I probably did until 4-4.
Because I'd be sort of curious just to hear, you know, having really enjoyed watching both of you guys play, if you had matchups in your mind for what you'd want to do next on real tennis.
I want to play
Anybody?
Scott.
You want to play Scott?
I'm not. I'm the big angry man. I want to play the angry man.
I have a suspicion the fans would like that one.
I want to
That's,
see that.
That's must-see TV. Joey, anybody that's on your radar?
I mean, I'm always down to play Mark again. I love playing Mark. Also Mike too.
Oh,
Yeah, we gotta get Mike back out here.
tricycle.
Yeah, those are kind of.
It's like super high-level tennis, so it'd be exciting to see kind of you guys play some of those other matchups. And then, Will, I gotta ask, why do you play pickleball, man, when you play tennis this well?
$1 million question.
It's because of the women, really. I'm joking.
The truth comes out.
Nah. I'm
You're trying to go pro, right?
Yeah.
Pickleball?
So I
Yeah.
play pro events. So I play in the pro tour. I played a couple of APPs, a couple of PPAs. Some success, some not. Trying to get a kind of solid partner. But the reason why I'm playing is I know that I can play this level for now. I'm 28, but things will start hurting more than later. So if I can try and get early on this craze and try and get my foot in the door, then I can at least ride my body into my late 40s and early 50s without too much problems. And tennis I'll still love, but pickle will be a sustainable thing for my body.
There you go.
So
Yep.
it's a logical move.
We had that one pickleball point that you.
Will's going back and forth like this.
I wanted to call you
totally
for
did that.
stepping in the kitchen.
All right, guys. So in hindsight, anything you'd change? Anything you'd do differently? Looking back on the match, any adjustments you'd make?
Steadier momentum, I think. Less
Yeah. Which is
finding
kind of
that
weird
optimal
because
level.
that's kind of normally your thing, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of real steady, kind of grinder kind of style.
Right. I just didn't think I could do it against Will today, so it was just from the get-go, you know, very
Okay.
up and down.
Mine's just be more heavy ball. The first games when I was heavier and I was going for more margin, that's when my ball got better. But when I was going lower and lower, it was still aggressive, but when I started getting high margin, heavy spin, it was okay. So that was me. Just when you're playing well, is not get past your threshold, stay in it, and keep yourself under control.
You feel like you hit a little flatter than normal today on
Yeah.
average? Yeah.
The racket's weird. So that Aero VS is the first time I play with it in a match setting, apart from coaching, and it's definitely a harder ball than I'm used to. But if you hit the right angle, it will jump. So it's that balance. So definitely a racket I like, but will be an adjustment for sure.
Topher, any final thoughts, questions?
It's fun watching you. Stay
it
on
was
the tennis court, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for battling it out. Super entertaining match. Really enjoyed it a lot. I'm sure the fans will enjoy it a lot as well.
Yeah.
Huge thank you to Diadem and to Go Sport for sponsoring the channel. And thanks to all our channel members as well for tuning in and watching. Thank you guys for playing.
Thank you.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it
Thank
a
you.
lot.
Yeah, that was awesome.